The judge says the request to release transcripts from grand jury probes in 2005 and 2007 does not meet extraordinary exceptions under federal law that could make them public. A similar request in New York is pending. The administration last week asked judges in both states to unseal transcripts that led to indictments of both Epstein and his former girlfriend in a sex trafficking case. Parts of the president's base have been pushing for more information about Epstein after he helped fan conspiracy theories for years about a government cover-up. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
On Capitol Hill, House Democrats launched a bid to subpoena the Justice Department for its files on Epstein. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It's reasonable to conclude that Republicans are continuing to protect the lifestyles of the rich and shameless, even if that includes pedophiles.
House Speaker Mike Johnson's preparing to send members home on August recess.
There's no fear. We're not going to allow the Democrats to use this as a political cudgel.
A federal judge in Maryland is prohibiting the Trump administration from taking Kilmar Abrego Garcia into immediate immigration custody if he's released from jail in Tennessee. He's awaiting trial there on human smuggling charges. In Idaho, a judge sentenced Brian Koberger to life in prison without parole for the 2022 killing of 4 University of Idaho students. More than 100 aid groups are warning of starvation in Gaza. And President Trump's announcement of a trade deal with Japan helped send stocks to more records. The S&P rose 0.8%, while the Nasdaq added 0.6%. The Dow jumped 507 points. That's about 1.1%. This is AP News. Charges filed against the man accused of ramming his car into a crowd outside an L.A. nightclub.
Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman announced charges against 29-year-old Fernando Ramirez in what's alleged to be a deliberate car crash over the weekend that hurt 37 people.
37 counts of attempted murder and 37 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, the deadly weapon being the car.
Ramirez was later found to have been shot in the lower back.
He is accused of intentionally driving his car onto the sidewalk near the Vermont Hollywood, a popular venue.
LA Police Chief Jim McDonnell.
It is truly a miracle that nobody was killed that night.
The suspect has a criminal history, including an aggravated battery conviction in 2019, and records show he had domestic violence and drunken driving cases pending. Audio courtesy ABC 7 Los Angeles. I'm Jennifer King.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. The rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sun.
All right, good morning, Marianas. It is going to be an interesting show today. It's going to be a little shorter. We're going to try to cram in a bunch of things. As you guys probably know by now, it's a sad day for our Marianas. We lost our governor while we were sleeping last night. And I don't know exactly how we are going to talk about that. So we'll just do the best we can. First thing we're going to do, we got a phone call real quick. The guys from Guam want to talk about it. You guys can join us for that. And we're going to figure this out. We're calling them right now.
Long distance call from Saipan. Will you accept the charges?
Yeah,
Hell
Joe.
no, we don't want to pay no money for Saipan.
Joe, we are both on each other's show right now. This is awesome.
Hey, good morning, Saipan. We do love you. I was just kidding.
No, I know. You are the happy voice we need to hear right now.
We're doing our best, man. Hold on, okay, and we'll get you on with Ray. Hold on.
You got it.
And see if we can get those up on the screen on the Instagram, just for completeness. I might even have some pictures of me and Josh that are floating around.
Oh boy,
rubbing elbows with the hoi polloi around here. Isn't that great? That's something else. 7:17 in the morning. But that's not the hating that I'm talking about. The haters that I'm talking about are the people that even when he wins, he's a loser in some people's minds. So we've got RFK Jr. and Donald Trump and doing something that I believe is a victory. I think it's a health victory. Nutrition leaders have this to say about Coca-Cola's decision to launch a U.S. product made with cane sugar. It won't make America healthier. What? The hell's the matter with you people? Coca-Cola announced, without giving too many details, as part of its ongoing innovation agenda, the company plans to launch an offering made with U.S.-grown cane sugar to expand its trademark Coca-Cola product range. And that is in response to RFK Jr. Suggesting that we take high-fructose corn syrup out of basically everything. RFK says it's a driver of obesity and other chronic diseases. Alternatives like sugarcane and beet sugar also lead to weight gain and bad outcomes. The so-called experts say these one-ingredient changes don't make these foods healthy, said Marianas, professor emeritus of nutrition and public health at New York University. Sound like a bunch of lefties, if you ask me.
A bunch of boring people, man.
You know what? I want my high fructose. I want more high fructose corn syrup in my cola. That's what I'm looking for. No sugar, no peas. They're not going to make any difference unless they change the dietary intake of what people are eating, as they say. If you guys have been experts at all of this in all of these years and haven't said hardly anything about the rise in, while delicious, mostly unnutritious foods that are part of the SAD, Standard American Diet. Just saying. And that's of course, this is from Axios, and Axios is always looking for an opportunity to give Donald Trump a hard time. They've got an entire issue that is dedicated to the fact that while the last 6 months have been nothing but victories for Donald Trump and this administration, they're saying, yeah, but the people are getting kind of tired of all the victories. What? we're growing fatigue. We've got calluses patting myself on the back. Donald Trump victory fatigue, really, guys? Anyway, 7:90. It's just amazing that some people just can't handle success. 7:19 in the morning. A bunch of stuff. I got locked and loaded here up on the screen. A bunch of people that we'd like to talk to. I recognize the area code on this. No, you don't. It's 670, bro. That's Friday. Must be my bro, Brad Rosales. We're gonna be. I'm sure
because you're on his show.
I'm on his show
and
now.
He's on your show.
Wow, this is amazing. The technology. Brad Rosales checking in from CNMI. Buenas and Hapa Brad.
Buenas and Hapa Ray and Joe. Good to hear you guys.
But it's good to be online and sharing. And on behalf of the people of Guam, I do want to send up our condolences for the passing of Governor Palacios here. We were, all of us, in the stories that were unfolding last night, looking for a different outcome. We'd heard that he was on his way to medical treatment here on Guam and was in high spirits, according to the soon-to-be governor of the CNMI after everything is all done and the swearing in, and unfortunately an untimely outcome and the passing of your governor. Please accept our condolences here on Guam.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ray. I mean, it just really kind of sucks. Now, he was a friend to a lot of people, a mentor to a lot of folks, and genuinely cared for the Commonwealth. Coming in at a tough time with the state of our economy and everything, and this is the second time in just a handful of years when we saw him collapse and be whisked away off island for emergency medical treatment. And we hope that it would have had a better outcome than it did.
Yeah. So Guam is a small town, Saipan a much smaller town, and very, very personal politics. And if you don't mind, I'd like you to share maybe one of your personal experiences with the governor before he had passed away. Something that give the people of Guam who might not have known him very well a better sense of who this gentleman was.
The main thing, he was a real down to earth guy, just a regular guy's guy. Ray, if you got to know him, you would have genuinely liked him. I'll tell you. So I was doing some work for him when he was the lieutenant governor, and he was starting to consider running for governor before the last general election. And when he collapsed, I got to get in the emergency room and talk to him. This is again like 4 years ago almost now. Excuse me. And then he got taken away off island for his health stuff, and then I had to go off island to do stuff. But we're still trying to talk about communications, how we're going to do stuff. And one of the funniest, and it was a good conversation because we were talking about things. And I said, how are you doing? He's like, boy, I feel great. I haven't had a cigarette in like 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh, all right, we're going to have a great conversation, and just like him having that kind of a conversation, sending messages. He heard about my dad not doing all that great and would just reach out. He's you have to get to know him. I mean, like a lot of folks did know him here for sure. He's got a great family, very family oriented, and he would bring that with him wherever we went. But you would know where you stand with him. That was one of the things. Like when I say like a guy's guy, he's a regular guy. I know everybody's got some politics and everybody holds their cards close sometimes and everything. But he would tell you, he'd be like, WTF, man. Only he wouldn't give you the letters, and you could tell like he would flex it when he needed it and he wouldn't when he didn't. He starts off with that smile, that shaking the hands. Here's another one. He was coming into our show one day, and we had a miscommunication between his communications team and I. So I'm messaging as we're getting closer to the start of when he's supposed to be here. I'm like, "Are you guys on the way?" They're like, "Oh no, we thought you're coming here." I'm like, but you're such a big get for my show. I'm like, wait a minute. And so then, they're like, well, all right, can you make it up here? I'm like, well, yeah. And then I got a call back right away, and the governor's communication team's like, the governor said he's coming there. We're on our way. I'm like, oh, holy crap. Now check this out. He wasn't already doing like cartwheels and sprinting around town anyway. I'm on the 3rd floor. And I got messages from a couple people. Does the governor know that you're on the 3rd floor? Because he's got to get up there. I'm like, yeah. And then he came up here, and for me, that was a really big deal because one, he's coming here. When does a governor change on a dime like that when he's setting up thinking that you got your interview there and he didn't want to let me down? I mean, that spoke. That's just one tiny little story. You're asking for my stuff. I got to see him move mountains for people when things needed to happen. I get to see him appreciate his staff and his team. You hear the words that he said. I'm sad that we lost him. The only thing, if I'm looking for a silver lining to this, is that it was starting to get into this campaign season and the time, and people start talking about, the negative aspects of their prospective opponents.
Politics your politics up there are absolutely brutal.
I think it's kind of common. I mean, I think it's a little bit everywhere, but at least now, all those people who would be having that kind of a conversation now can be free of having to be weighed down in that stuff, and they could talk about the good stuff. The family man, the friend, the statesman, the public servant for decades here in the CNMI. Is anybody perfect? Of course not, right? But he was just a good guy, and everybody who got close to him knows what we lost in our governor, and it just kind of sucks.
And still fresh. Everything that we're talking about here with regards to this story happened just as I was getting close to Pillow last night, and it started with a story about the medical incident that occurred, and he was on his way medevac to Guam, and I woke up this morning to news that he had passed away overnight, and that steps were already being taken with the acting governor Apatang to take on the mantle of the governorship of the CNMI. My understanding is that Senate President Dennis Mendiola is going to become the next lieutenant governor of the CNMI, all of those things in motion. What's the timeline? What's the schedule?
Well, the swearing in is going to be today in about an hour. So like even my show today is going to be abbreviated because I'm going to, after we wrap up with our call, I got one more quick call, and then we're going to head up to the governor's office in the conference room. Lieutenant Governor Apateng becomes the governor, and Senate President Mendiola becomes the lieutenant governor. And it, sad to say, this just happened 11 years ago. In 2014 when we lost Governor Enos, and that's when we did lose Governor Enos back then, but even before that, when Governor Fitiel resigned, Governor Enos became the governor, and Senate President then, Jude Hofschneider, became the lieutenant governor. Then we lose Governor Enos, then Lieutenant Governor Torres became the governor, and I think we had Victor Hukag became the lieutenant governor for a bit before they switched hands. So, man,
you have been up there a long time, Brad. The conversation about the passing of the governor of the CNMI, obviously never a good time for that. But given the nature of the economy, the state of things in the CNMI, we're going to need to have soon-to-be Governor Apateng take the helm and have a steady hand over the ship of state moving forward.
It's fortunate that we have someone with that kind of experience. Lieutenant Governor, our acting governor, and about to be sworn in Governor Apateng, is a seasoned statesman. He's been a public servant for decades as well. He served as our mayor for 2 terms, and he was a legislator here as well. And so he's a steady hand. A lot of people look to him anyway. A lot of people look to him for his support and his strength when he talks. Whenever they have public engagements, he puts a lot of effort into his speeches as well. And he's really an active partner with our former governor. So I don't know that we're going to lose anything aside from, as far as like a leadership void or something. So at least we have that going for us if there's something we can look to.
Well, obviously, we send our condolences, and if there's anything, obviously, that I can do, that we can do, then by all means, all you need to do is reach out and touch us. I'm going to go from this conversation to a conversation with Simon Sanchez, who spends time up in the NMI on a regular basis, helping out your utilities, and so we'll get his grind on the situation. I again want to pass along the condolences from all of us here on Guam, and best wishes and our hopes for the future of the CNMI.
Hey, thanks, Ray. I know we normally have more upbeat phone calls, and you just can't fake it.
Yeah. Well, you keep doing what you're doing up in the NMI, because people have got stories about the governor, and they're going to want a platform to tell those stories on. So stay on the air as long as you can today, and maybe there's people that can call in or write into you and let them know about the time that they were over at Herman's Bakery and the governor bought them their own bread or something like that. There's going to be stories like that that the family is going to definitely want to hear and catalog. So you be the vehicle for all that. All right.
I hear you, Ray.
All right, man. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Brad Rosala up in Saipan, down there.
All right, so that's Ray Gibson over there in Guam. He's got a radio show on a station called The Point. He's awesome. He's just a good guy. He's someone that, I'm lucky I got to know him for, at least 20 years now, I feel like. But hey, let's talk with you guys. I'll tell you what, let's do this real quick before we do that. We're not going to get all. We're going to talk about the governor, but we do have something else going on out here, at least weather-wise. So let's call Landon. Then we're going to get back to this conversation. But we want to have this conversation to find out what's going on with this storm that's coming our way. We had this scheduled today, so. All right, now we're connected.
Good morning.
I can hear you. Oh, now you came into play. How's it going?
Man, it's been a busy morning so far. What a day.
I know that feeling. Hey, for folks who are watching right now, we just got off the phone with with Ray Gibson over there in Guam talking about this. And, funny story, they're like, can you call in at 7:15? I'm like, yeah, I can, but I got 7:30 with Landon. They're like, hey, Landon's ours. You can't have him. And I'm like, no, we'll go through the courts and we'll get joint custody of Landon Ayla.
I have a hat for that.
That's great. Hey, Landon, I know we were messaging this morning. You heard about everything that happened here with our governor and all that. So it's a little bit more of a somber mood up here today. And, we got this weather coming, and we want to still get that update so everyone can know what's happening with this.
Yeah, definitely. At the start, I definitely want to send my heartfelt condolences to the CNMI and for the loss of Governor Palacios. That came to me quite as a shock. I got the information just after midnight early this morning, and I was in disbelief when I read the news because I spoke with him on the phone just yesterday, apparently right before all this started happening with the governor. And so we had a very cordial, a very pleasant phone call discussing this weather scenario. And so it comes as a significant shock, and I feel the pain of the CNMI. And so my condolences are with you all on this loss.
Well, he's been with you on a bunch of phone calls through a bunch of storms over the years, so you got to interact with him at least a little bit.
Yeah, so it's always a pleasure. It's been my privilege to work with him and everyone in the CNMI, whether it's the worst of weather or the best of weather. And so, yeah, we always have to value each other and the people we work with, because you never know when it's going to be your time. So take that to heart, and let's make the best of our relationships, professional and personal.
Well, appreciate that, partner. Well, let's get to it. Normally we're a little more upbeat and chipper, but we got some weather coming our way, right?
Yeah, we do have some breaking news coming through just this morning. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center did upgrade what was Invest 98W. They did upgrade early this morning to now Tropical Depression 12W. It became a tropical cyclone information alert yesterday evening. We put out the weather alert via email and social media to reflect those changes right about the 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. hour yesterday. That has since upgraded to tropical depression, now 12W. I'm going to turn my camera around to show you what I'm looking at, because I've been so busy this morning. I have not got this email out yet, but this is the graphic we're going to be publishing via email and also on social media very soon. This is that 12W, and it looks like it's just west of Guam. That's correct. It passed over Guam as a weak disturbance. Overnight, that was one of the scenarios we were looking at, is it could possibly pass over Guam as early as last night, if not sometime today. A lot of people are asking, well, where was the wind? And so that goes to the symmetry of the system. It's very poorly organized still. This does not look like a healthy tropical cyclone, which is the good news. But those monsoonal winds, the strongest winds are on the southeast and east side of the system. So Guam and Saipan, we're still in that weak wind field. And I use that term lightly for Saipan and Tinian, because y'all are having a lot of the stronger, gustier trades come across Saipan. You're seeing wind gusts at the airport upwards of 30 miles per hour. So that's going to maintain speed and maybe intensify over the next 24 hours. So watch out, those winds will start shifting from the southeast to the south and then eventually the southwest as this monsoon starts to lift up over the area. So 12W has maximum sustained winds of 30 miles per hour as of 7 o'clock this morning. It was about 50 miles west of Guam, and it's moving very slowly toward the northwest, but expected to turn toward the northwest over the next day or so. So it could become a tropical storm. By Friday morning, we're going to be watching for any intensification, but it's currently forecast by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. It could become a tropical storm by tomorrow morning. As a result, we are going to be issuing a tropical storm watch for Rota, Tinian, Saipan, the coastal waters, and also Alamagan, Pagan, and Agrigan. So that's going to be the status change from the Weather Service. Tropical storm watch is in effect for basically all of the CNMI at this time. So that's a big status change.
Yeah.
As a matter of technicality, based on the time frame, this should be a warning, a tropical storm warning, because that's when those winds are expected within 24 hours. But right now, those winds are not an expectation, but they are a possibility. And that really depends on the evolution and intensification of 12W. So this could be upgraded. We could see some upgrades to a tropical storm warning for any number of these items right here. But right now, tropical storm watch in effect. And that's just because those tropical storm force winds of 39 miles per hour are possible. So stay tuned to those terminology. These are these frequently asked questions that get people tripped up on the technicalities on our operations and our jargon. And so I hope we can explain that and clarify that as much as possible. We are talking frequently with Joey and Gerald at the Homeland Security Office up there in Saipan, and they are well apprised. We've been on conversations for the last several hours. Right now, there's no status change in the CNMI, but stay tuned for information from the Homeland Security Office for any changes coming up in the next couple hours for posturing. And again, tropical storm watch in effect for all of the CNMI at this time for those possible tropical storm force winds later today and into tomorrow.
All right. Now, you gave us a ton of info, and that's all great and everything. Can you just, again, recap it for folks who just walked in? Just a real quick one. What can we expect in the next 2 days?
Yeah, definitely. Our invest area tropical disturbance 98W, that has upgraded and is now tropical depression 12W. So we're moving from 98W invest to 12W. That is the 12th tropical cyclone in the western North Pacific Ocean basin this year in 2025. It has maximum sustained winds of 30 miles per hour, moving slowly west-northwest at 2 miles per hour. It's sitting just west of Guam and is expected to turn toward the northwest through today as it possibly becomes a tropical storm by tomorrow. Tropical storm watch is in effect for all of the CNMI at this time.
Wow, so that's happening. I mean, as all this stuff's happening, we're going to be expecting some stronger winds that are going to come up. Probably a lot more rain. We're looking at that active thing that you've got on there, and just because you told us that it's happening on Windy the other day, I'm like, all right, I'll put this on the screen too, so people can see it kind of doing that. It's coming from the southeast, kind of moving in a northeasterly swirl. Is that an
That's
official
correct.
title? I don't think that's proper terminology.
You know, I like to use a broad range of terminology, whether it's a blob and a blip. We use those terms loosely in this office. But yeah, if you go to our webpage, weather.gov/GUM, this is where you're going to find the most updated text bulletins. We do have a number of advisories in effect. High surf advisory, small craft advisory, rip current statement for strong rip currents, a flood watch, and a special weather statement, all in effect for Guam and the CNMI. Simply put, it's going to be wet and windy the next several days with near tropical storm force conditions over most of the islands through Friday night into Saturday. So it's going to be sloppy weather. This is not a good time to be outdoors and hiking. Not a good time to have outdoor activities and plans, especially through Saturday evening at least. And also not a good time to be out on the waters with the waves, the rip currents, and the surf. And we're going to see those winds start sweeping around from the southeast to the southwest, and surf will start building along south and west facing reefs probably through today and overnight tonight, with peak wind conditions just shy of tropical storm force 39 miles per hour Thursday night, tonight through Friday and Friday night.
Yeah, I'm looking at your page right now on forecast.weather.gov. We're looking at the forecast, and Saturday it says winds could gust as high as 44 miles per hour. And, the regular winds, it says windy with the southwest wind of 21 to 26, increasing to 27 to 32 in the afternoon, and gusts as high as 44, 90% chance of rain. And this is definitely the time now to start tying down your stuff and tidying up the yard, right?
Yeah, this is your last opportunity, especially on Guam. The winds are very light and pleasant this morning, but those monsoonal winds will start filtering in and pushing over the island later today. Those stronger winds are already in place in Saipan and Tinian with the southeasterly trays on the north side of the system. And eventually they're going to start switching around to the south and southwest. So stay tuned for that. Definitely secure those loose items.
Can you give me like 30 seconds before you run back? Okay. Just give me a second. Sorry about that, Landon. We had a special surprise visitor pop in, so I missed the last couple of seconds of that. But I'll tell you what. I know you've got stuff going on, and we'll reach out to you again tomorrow if you can to talk about it.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have an email alert go out very shortly. I hope by around 8:10 this morning, 8:15, with all the latest information and graphics. And then we're going to have a conference call with the CNMI Homeland Security Office and some other folks to discuss posturing and plans and communication. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on over the next hour and a half. So people stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of information come from the Weather Service, Homeland Security Office, and the CNMI government. So a lot of stuff happening. Stay safe, stay dry, and stay indoors.
Will do. Thanks so much again, Landon. Really appreciate the time for coming in today. And I know you're super busy, so we'll look forward to the updates, and we'll reach out to you again.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you. All right, Landon Aidlet, our friend from the National Weather Service out of Guam, and we got out of the blue a special visitor to the studio. You want to take a seat for a sec? Here, let me move this out of your way and everything. Holy cow! This is a holy special day, Batman. Let's get it. I gotta get him on camera here. 1 second. Let me move over. And sorry, I just treated Landon like he was chopped liver to get him off. So to get him off the show. Here, let me move this over closer. Gordon Marciano.
Good morning.
Oh my goodness. No, this was man. I gotta move. Let me adjust this over to you a little bit. Can you slide over just a little bit? Sure. Oh my gosh, Gordon, thanks so much for coming over today. I wasn't expecting it. Like when I heard the door open out, I just thought it was Laura who was going to be walking. And no, first of all, welcome.
Yeah.
I even get to show you around or anything yet. This is literally all just
beautiful
happening.
Beautiful place, man. Beautiful
Thanks.
setup.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Awesome.
I'll tell you all about it. Man, I guess like I would normally ask you like a million things, but with everything that just happened overnight, I don't know. We want to just about losing our governor.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a known governor for 30 plus years, and it's just yesterday I was at the house and I saw the helicopter go by, and I already got the message that they were going to evac. And I saw again the helicopter went by, heading south. And I was just praying for him. But then last night we received the word that he passed away. So yeah, heart condolences to the family, and may he rest in paradise with the rest of our families that are, as we continue to miss them. But for me, Gov has done a lot, especially when it comes to our culture. He's one of the biggest guys that was a person that always supported our culture, whether it's Palacios or tomorrow, because as we know, golf is also a half. I mean, I grew up, my mom telling me there's no such thing as half. You're a whole tomorrow and a whole Carolinian. That's how you gotta look at it. There's no such thing as half. So yeah, I'm his cousin on the Palacios side and uncle on the tomorrow side. So I really miss him. I mean, a lot of the success of PDI, a lot of the things that we've done through the endeavors of PDI, Pacific Development Inc., PDI, was so mostly with Uncle Art, with Ray Tep. I mean, these are the folks that, during the heydays of the Pioneer as we built the tourism, they were always there. And it just happened that I was right there with this OGs as I was growing up with them. And I know he's going to be up there with Joe Limis and the rest of the gangs, and they'll be jamming up there, but I'm going to miss him big time. And for me, I've never seen any governor that, this is me personally, my brother. I've never seen a party that united every party to be under one umbrella and working together to move the CNMI. That's how I see a song, Arnold. I've never seen any party that did that. And when people ask me what are my thoughts, I always tell them straight up. In all my years of watching politics, this is the first governor that I ever had. Every party, every talent, everybody that has something to bring to the table is there around Uncle Arnold. And I smile with that, because I always said that one of these days we're going to unite and we're going to move this as one community. And under his administration, that's what I saw. And I've never seen that in any administration. And when people ask me, I tell them straight up, that's what I see in Arnold. That's what I see in Arnold. That's what I see in this governor. And I hope that every governor in the future that comes in unites us, finds the resources, finds the talent from these different parties, and bring them to the table so we can move the CNMI. Shouts out to him and the family, condolences to Auntie and everybody. But yeah, surely gonna miss him. I was walking by because I went to the store and I saw your van, so I said, hey, wait, let me go say hello to our brother up there before I get to the station. But but thank you for. But yeah, si Tro Mengameng Makarina Supago with our governor gone, and we need to, come together now and stand behind our lieutenant governor, who's going to be now the governor, Shanku Dave also. So, we just need to be as one in these times, especially now that we've lost our governor.
You're a cultural icon here. There's no event that happens here that you're not a part of, that you're not contributing to, that you don't make better when you're there. And to hear you talk about the governor and the culture and being a uniter and seeing from your perspective, it really gives so much more weight to the governor's legacy. It says so much about him. And you're right. I mean, you look at all the people that he had, even in his cabinet and all that. He even had all the members of different parties and all that stuff. It didn't matter who you're with and all that other stuff. He still did all that stuff. It's and you grew up here. You know how this stuff works, and like you said, it's there's nothing quite like it. I mean, I liked how he was just a regular guy too.
Well, I think you need to run.
Oh yeah, I got you. You guys, sorry. I'm not used to having somebody fly in that fast. But hey, thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, no
I'm glad you stopped by. Like, it's a day that we can use a little extra something.
Yes.
You know.
Today that's. Well, brother. All right.
That's pretty cool. Because he's a pretty awesome dude, and everybody just needs people just want to talk about it and how they feel and share a little bit about what the governor means to them, and it was some great perspective. Wow, Saipan, man, special place. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing you guys getting a whole bunch of messages coming in from folks. Hold on, let's see what this is. Got a statement from, just sent over from Angel Demapan and the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs. Here it is. He says, I'm saddened to learn about the passing of Governor Arnold Palacios, a dear friend whom I had the opportunity to meet with this past June on my first visit to the CNMI. We shared ideas and how we could best address the pressing needs of the islands. We had just spoken again a week ago, and when we convened for the 902 consultations, and I was looking forward to meeting with him again soon. He is very passionate about the CNMI and an advocate of national security and defense. I extend my deepest sympathies to his wife, Wella, their family, and the people of the CNMI during this difficult time. That's William Bill Haig he is the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Insular and International Affairs. And we also have a comment from our very own homegrown Angel Demapan. Oh man, that's great. Deputy Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs. Angel says, as a native of the CNMI, I join my community in mourning Governor Palacios. He was a dedicated public servant whose lifelong commitment to the people of the CNMI will be remembered with great respect. His leadership and decades of public service have left an enduring legacy. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked with him over the past several years. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his entire family and our Marianas community during this time of great loss and grief. He'll be sorely missed. That's from Angel Demapan, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Insular and International Affairs. Thanks so much for sending that. We'll post that stuff up there too. Yeah, it's a day of us getting these kind of comments. We started getting them yesterday. We started getting them last night as well. And hold on, let me say yes. And we'd really hoped that when he took off that it was going to be different, or it was going to be actually no, not different. We hoped it was going to be the same like last time, that he'd be back, and that the Governor Apatang would be hanging in there for a little while, holding the fort until Governor Palacios got back. We knew there would be some time when he would have to recover and all that. Hey, good morning. And that's just not the case, again. So last night we got the word, and that's it. So today, people messaging in from all over, giving their comments and their statements. We'll have, hold on, let me pull hers up here too, because I meant to get there earlier. Here we go. This is Congresswoman Kim Hines. Let me, scroll down because it was over here. Sorry. In fact, what her first comments were pretty quick. It's just, I'm shocked and heartbroken by the news of Governor Palacios' passing. It's so hard to find the right words. This news is still too fresh, and my emotions are too raw to fully express what a loss this is for our Commonwealth. What I do know is that Governor Palacios was a good man. He was our governor and served the people of the Marianas with honor. But more than that, he was a husband, a father, and a grandfather who loved his family deeply. My heart is with the First Lady Wella and their family in this incredibly difficult moment. It is. I mean, I'll tell you, this is the second governor that we lost in like 11 years. And, this time, we got about a year plus before the next election. And, somebody's got to be at the helm for us. And so it's going to be Governor Apatang, who gets sworn in about 35 minutes from now at the governor's office in the conference room. And I'm telling you, it's just, it's surreal, right? I mean, that people get older and this stuff happens, but seeing him at the hospital, seeing him leave the hospital, you think he's going to recover from it, and you get the statements. I mean, every public or press release, it's going to say, oh, he's in good spirits and all this other stuff, right? Because you don't want to have the people of your hometown worrying about you and all that other stuff. And from what we got yesterday in our conversations with folks who were there at the hospital, were saying he was alert and he was answering questions, albeit mumbling, but still answering the questions. And God, man, I tell you, we just thought he was going to pull through. At the very least, we just hoped he would. We got a statement from the president of Palau as well. And hold on, let me open that up for you. And this is an opportunity for you guys. If you want to call, if you want to say something about the governor, if you want to send us a message, we'll get that stuff out as well. But here's the statement from President Whips, Sarango Whips. He says, we're deeply saddened by the passing of Governor Arnold I. Palacios of the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands. For more than 30 years, Governor Palacios dedicated his life to serving his people with integrity and compassion. On behalf of the First Lady of Palau, First Lady Valerie, and the people and government of Palau, I extend our heartfelt condolences to First Lady Wella Palacios, their family, Acting Governor David Apatang, and the people of the CNMI during this difficult time. Governor Palacios' legacy of leadership and his commitment to strengthening the bonds among our island communities will continue to inspire us all. May his memory be a blessing and a guiding light for future generations. It is. It is absolutely sad. Let me get into some of our stuff here, folks, too. That's kind of be our day today. yeah, I don't want to keep bringing everybody down on all this stuff. So I'm sorry. It's not what I expected. It's not like, I don't think it's what any of us expected. That's it. I'm going to miss his handshake. Going to miss that smile, that wry smile walking into a press conference or a proclamation signing. Hey, how you doing, man? Well, it looks like you're gaining a few pounds, huh? Checking out some of your comments. Tobot had a good one. Says, days like this may not hit hard for some, but for those that hurt, a hug will definitely lift that person. Put aside pride and don't divide. That's a good dude, man. All right, Eric's out there. Condolences and prayers for Auntie Wella and the family. May Governor Palacios rest in peace. Loved by lots, will be missed by many. True story. Sophia's out there saying, my deepest condolences for the governor's family. Johnny Tomei says, condolences to Auntie Wella and her family for their loss and our loss. May our governor, Honorable Arnold I. Palacios, may he rest in peace. Ramona Marab, same thing. My deepest condolences to governors' families. Carmen Sablon, deepest condolences to the family and friends of the late governor. Arnold Palacios, may his soul rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, and there's just so many of these going through. There's Gloria Hunter, so great to see you. Says, my heart prayers go out to Governor Palacios' family and friends and all his staff. May he rest in peace and go with our Lord. You know, I'll tell you, that's exactly it. You know, when I blame Troy Torres for making me pray more often. Ever since he started posting things and getting all religious and stuff, or just reconnecting with his religious side, I should say. And then posting the stuff for the obituary notices and small prayers. And so I started doing some of the same on our side about praying for folks. And it's a real simple one, but probably, I don't even know how many times I said it, but I definitely did this, and and you hope it reaches somewhere, somebody, somehow. But it's God, please welcome them into your kingdom and comfort all those mourning their passing. Let them come to know the wisdom of your plan, and let them find some comfort knowing they'll be reunited in your kingdom. And please let their passing bring them closer together, and please let the families feel the love, warmth, of support of all those thinking and praying for them. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We're going to go up to the governor's office. We want to bring you the oath, taking the swearing in for Governor Apateng and for Lieutenant Governor Dennis Mendiola. So we'll be back. We'll be live again here in about 20 minutes. By the time we get up there, we'll just pop it on and get you guys that so you can actually see it happen. We'll come back again later today. We'll be talking about it. We'll be posting more things. And look forward to spending more time with you guys and hearing your memories. Please continue to send them to us, and we'll post them up. In fact, that's probably the best way for us to do this. While it's a difficult time for everybody, the flags at half-mast and all that stuff, but why don't you share your memories from the governor? What's your favorite memory from Governor Palacios when you met him sometime over the past, been alive 69 years? I want you to send them to us so we could post those up. We're going to wrap up today, guys, and we'll be back from the governor's office here in a little bit, and we'll be more positive tomorrow. Okay, it's going to be a thing that it's got to be hard for the family, and if you pray, say a prayer for them, say a prayer for the Gov, and say a prayer for the Commonwealth, and we get stronger together through these kind of tough times, and this is no different.